can. I appreciate the opportunity to come here and to speak today. I appreciate the opportunity that you have given me to address you. But if you've been taxed enough already, if you want real change in Columbia, if you want to see the public education system work along with those folk who are homeschooling in private schools, then you need to elect Gary L. Burgess for your next Superintendent of Education. Go to my website, www.burgess.com. Thank you so very much, Eric, for inviting me today. Thank you so very much for giving me an opportunity to speak to you.
Thank you, Gary, candidate for Superintendent of Education. We appreciate you making the way to Hartsville. We appreciate everybody being here today. I tell you, it's a hot day. Fortunately, it's a little bit overcast, and but we're very fortunate you're here, and thank you for being good patrons. Our next speaker will be Marty Driggers, and he's a candidate for Darlington County Council District.
Great to be in the performing. I guess it was last August or so, Brent Nelson had his first speaking event as a superintendent candidate in this room. So it's good to be back here and see some familiar faces again. Brent's on the other side of the state tonight, which is he can be here and sends his welcome. My name is Jason Greer, and Brent Nelson is a resident of Greenville County. He's been there for getting on close to 30 years now. He's been a professor at Furman University. He's been a professor of political science there for going on close to 30 years now, and he's also been an involved parent in the public school system. He was former president of the School Improvement Council in Greenville County as well, helped turn a public school around. He also has a vision for what a global economy and the connection between that and a sound economic system and a sound education system in the state and what that looks like. Last year, about this time, he had some good advice from some political leaders around the upstate. Congressman Inglis, Senator Mintz, and other people said, Brent, this is the office you're best suited for. You need to run for this office. The state needs you. So he's been out running around the state. I think we figured out recently he's given close to about 190 different speeches to this point, only 2 weeks to go. So for many people, we really appreciate you hearing us speak. There's three things we want you to remember that Brent wants to accomplish as superintendent candidate. He wants to empower teachers. He wants to empower communities. And he wants to empower the state's economic system with a strong education system. He wants to empower teachers by decreasing regulation, funneling as much money to the classroom as possible and less from the bureaucracy. He wants to empower communities, have a greater connection between the community and our public school system. And strengthening, as we all know, a strong education system is one of the best indicators of what we can have as far as a strong economic system in the state. So, in fact, he says we want to hold all these different people who have a piece in the education system accountable, from administrators to teachers and all these people. So he says we want to hold the superintendent to a level of accountability. So in 4 years, these are some ways that you can hold Brent Nelson accountable from 4 years from now. We want to have meaningful school choice within the public school system, so every student can have an opportunity to accomplish and choose different routes for their education, to customize it. We want to reduce the number of dropout factors. We have a terrible problem with many high schools that have a very high degree of high school dropout rates. We want to raise our reading level, and we want to reverse the trend of declining SAT scores. We've had 12 years of Democratic superintendents, and things have not really gotten better in our state education system. So vote for Brent Nelson on June 8th. Thank you for your time. I can answer any questions later. Thank you.
Our fourth candidate for State Superintendent of Education is Kelly Payne. And Preston Baines, please come forward.
Thank you, and good evening, everybody. Great to be back in McCormick. I actually used to vacation in Hickory Knob all the time growing up, and Kelly was here a few months back. Wishes she could be here, but it's tough to be everywhere around the state at the same time. Kelly Payne is a mother, a teacher, and she's on the front lines 5 days a week at Dutch Fork knows the issues facing South Carolina's education system. I have a question for you tonight. Do you feel you are getting a return on your $17,000 per pupil expenditure in McCormick County every year? Kelly Payne is who you got to choose to be your superintendent. When she was in McCormick a few months ago, she had the privilege of meeting with Principal Green of McCormick High School. She knows your issues. She has visited the corridor of shame up and down, and she's visited schools across the state. And she is the only candidate that can say she has visited schools all over the state. We need to get the politics out of education. What we've got to do in the State Department of Education is bring transparency and accountability. We can't keep asking for more money from the citizens of South Carolina. We need to audit the State Department of Education. We've got to cut the bureaucracy, get the money into the classroom. Only 44% of your dollars get into the classroom, and we've got to get it down there. We've got to get 70% of your dollars into the classroom. She believes in a back-to-the-basics approach to our education system, and we've got to get back to teaching the Constitution of the United States in South Carolina schools. I won't take up any more of your time, but Kelly Payne needs your vote on June 8th. I've got yard signs for you, and I'll even take a check from you if you want to give it to me. Vote Kelly Payne on June 8th, and thank you very much.
Our fifth candidate for Superintendent of Education is Mick Zais, and he has a stand-in here tonight. Jay.
It's great to be back here in McCormick County. J.W. Reagan is my name. I see a lot of familiar faces. Having spent 40 years at the South Carolina Republican Party, a lot of silver elephants, a lot of state conventions, so it's good to be back home. But I'm here to talk about my friend, General Mick Zais. Some of you may know Mick Zais because some of you are Newberry College graduates, where Mick has been the president of Newberry College for the last 10 years. Prior to that, Mick spent 31 years in the United States Army after graduating from West Point and retired as a Brigadier General. A lot of folks ask Mick, what was it like going from being a paratrooper Brigadier General, where people are falling over themselves to make you happy, to being a college president? And Mick's answer is pretty simple. Being a college president is a lot like being a caretaker at a cemetery. There's a lot of folks underneath you, but nobody's listening. 3 reasons why Mick is qualified to be your next state superintendent. First of all, a comprehensive understanding of education. Mick has been a classroom teacher. He taught for 3 years in the faculty at West Point. Admittedly, not your typical public school or typical classroom, but he has been a teacher and understands how hard it is to be a good teacher and how many hours it takes to become an outstanding teacher in a classroom. But he's also been a college president. He's been a commissioner of higher education. He understands education policy from the classroom level to the highest positive level as possible. Number 2, he's a proven leader. His West Point class had 1,140 cadets. Of that number, 11 made general, less than 1%. He's been president of the Independent Colleges and Universities Association of South Carolina, president of his athletic conference, president of Commission on Aging that Andre Bauer had set up. He's been a leader his entire life since he was 22 years old. And they sent him off to Fort Bragg and said, Lieutenant Zais, these 35 paratroopers you're in charge of. You are responsible for everything they do and fail to do. And number 3, he's the only candidate with a proven record of success in reforming an education institution. And heaven knows that public education in South Carolina needs reform. When he arrived at Newberry College in 2000, it had fallen on hard times. It was down in the 600s in enrollment. The school was about to close because it was about to lose its accreditation. After 10 years of hard work, though, Newberry College not only has doubled its enrollment, more than doubled its endowment, but it was named one of America's best colleges by U.S. News & World Report for the last 2 years in a row. Folks, Mick Zais doesn't talk about reform, he has done reform. And Lord knows we can have lots of great ideas and lots of good intentions, but until you have somebody in that office, and state superintendent who's actually done it, nothing is going to get done. In closing, I'll give you a couple of things. First of all, Mick Zais, as a military officer, served his soldiers, his unit, and his country. And as president of Newberry College, he served his campus, his students, and his Christian faith. Both are lives of calling, both are lives of service, both are lives committed to a higher set of values. And in both, he has got to work with exciting young people to help mold their minds and shape their futures. He wants to take that same energy, that same passion for helping our